All right, so welcome everybody. Can you please take your seats? We're going to go ahead and get started with this lesson today. All right, so today we are going to be talking about watersheds and how they impact your community, where you're from. How do you use water just end up at your house, right? Whenever you turn the sink on or whenever you flush the toilet, right? Water just appears. And how does it get that way? So before we get started, right, I just want you to turn to your AV partner and just go ahead and discuss, what do you think a watershed is? Good. I hear good discussions over there. Good. Good. Okay. Some good things. I'm hearing some good things over here. John, good job. All right. So, great. Good job. All right. So, yes, watersheds are put into place so that we can provide water to a certain population, right? So where we are here in Lindsay, right, it's a very small rural community, right? We don't have a ton of people here. We have a lot of farm workers, migrant workers, and things like that. So in order for us to get water, right, we have to be able to bring it in from somewhere else. Okay, so for this kind of target that we're going to be working on, right, we're going to be looking at different texts and different maps and media in order to find exactly what this watersheds are and how they impact our everyday life, right? Not only are we going to see how they impact our everyday life, but are they environmentally friendly, right? A watershed could be the Lake Success Dam that is about 15 miles south of us in Porterville, right? That is can be a watershed, and that is something that is close to us, right? So we're trying to figure out, how can we make sure that we can have water year round, right? So in order to do that, we have to know the essential questions, right? The essential questions: why is water in the Central Valley a scarce commodity, right? We've gone through droughts in the last few years, right? There was water restrictions, right? You couldn't water your grass on these days, right? You can only water your grass maybe once a week and things like that. Water prices, the city raised the water prices. So in order for the community to hopefully not use as much water, right? How does water create energy? How is water distributed from watersheds, right? How does it go from the watershed to your house, where it needs to go? So the skills that you're going to need is, you're going to be able to calculate velocity of water flow, informational writing, right? At the end of this, right, you're going to build your own watershed for your own community, right? You're going to build a model, and then we're going to write a claim, evidence, reasoning on how this watershed will help either your community, your own house, maybe the county of Tulare, right? Depends on what you want to do, right? We're going to provide evidence. We're going to read and navigate, right? And the concepts, the knowledge that you're going to go, some of the vocabulary that we are going to have. Watersheds, right? Potential and kinetic energy, right? I know in 7th grade and 6th grade, you guys kind of talked about potential and kinetic energy, so you should be able to have some remembrance of that, and we'll be able to apply it to this, right? The difference between surface water and groundwater, right? And then supply and demand. We need water. How do we get the water? All right, very good. So for this lesson, we're just going to be going over the vocabulary, right, that we're going to need to use during this time, right? We're going to be using this unit about 2 to 4 weeks, right? So we're going to need to know the terminology that we're going to need as we go on. So watersheds, right? We already talked about that. Potential and kinetic energy, okay? go ahead, stand up. You're going to stand up, hand up, pair up. Go ahead, find a partner, and go ahead and discuss what you think potential and kinetic energy are and how they differ. Okay, good. I see Ricky over there. Good job. Ricky and Tomas, I can hear you. Okay, you're kind of right in the right ballpark. Okay, good. Evelyn and Janie are over here having a thoughtful discussion. Good. Okay, good. All right. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap once. Good. Okay, so for potential and kinetic energy, right, whenever we're looking at a roller coaster, right, the potential energy is the energy that is taking the roller coaster up, right? And the kinetic energy is the energy that is when the roller coaster is going down, right? Very good. So somehow, in our watersheds, the water has to get somewhere, and then the kinetic energy has to take it somewhere else, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at, right? Surface water and groundwater. This isn't very complicated, guys, right? Surface water. What can surface water be? Okay, good. Yeah, surface water is the water that is on the surface. Very good. What do you think groundwater is then? If surface water is what's on top, where is the groundwater at? Jose? Yes. Very good, right? It's the water that is underground, right? The water that is underground. Good. Okay, so we're going to continue talking about these vocabulary terms that we're going to know, and we have sentence frames on the board right over here. Okay, so what I want you to do is we're going to use watersheds. Okay, a watershed, so that'll be the blank, right? A watershed is used to blank blank, right? So go ahead, turn to your AB partner, go ahead and fill out the sentence. A watershed is used to what? Okay, give you guys a minute. Go ahead and talk it over. Okay, very good. Good. Okay, Macy there in the back. Okay, go ahead and share out your partner's sentence. Good. So Macy said a watershed is used to provide water where it is needed. Very good. Good job. Good job, Macy. Very good. Okay. So again, fast forwarding here, at the end of the lesson, at the end of this unit, you are going to be building a watershed. Now, we have different online tools that we're going to be able to use for you to build 3D models and things like that. And then we get to go in Learning Lab, and we might be able to print out 3D. We have the 3D printers in there, and you can print out your models, right? And we're going to see, you're going to have to define how they're going to work. You're going to have to model to the class, right? We're going to have to share out our models and how they work, right? We need to get our speaking and listening targets in. So this will be a good way for you to practice your public speaking, and you should want to, right? You're going to be working hard on this project. This is something that you should want to share, okay? And then after we're done with that, we'll do our CER, our claim evidence reasoning, and then we'll be done. So this is going to be what we're going to focus on for the next few weeks.